Welcome back to Factory Sealed. It is December 16th, 2018. My name's Eric Peterson. Joining me today, Mr. Yam Ragan.
Hey, what up?
Mr. Mike Tyson.
Sup?
And Mr. Dan, I broke Audacity again, Curtis.
Shabba for the Christmas!
You love a bit of Shabba, Dan.
I do like Shabba is good.
We need to put a
Shabba all
disclaimer.
the time.
We need to put a disclaimer on this show.
Mm-hmm. A big old one. Tom, put up the disclaimer warning. Click it.
Yeah.
James, click the disclaimer warning.
This here is take 2 of the show. Because Daniel's potato struck again. And I also kind of fucked up too.
No. Daniel's potato did strike again, but Eric's brain also struck again.
It's a double whammy of failure.
It is. So here's what happened. I forgot to record the reference track, and Dan's potato crashed. So we have an hour and a half of me and Tom and Mike talking with random gaps where Dan should be talking, but he won't be. So we're going to see if we
probably
can...
another show that's just like that anyway, and you just haven't known, to be honest.
Yeah.
There's plenty that have goofy errors. So we're going to see if we can salvage that, but if not, and this is all you're getting, well, this is it. Sorry.
There's one where Dan asks for what's for dinner during the show.
Crystal!
There is indeed. It's still on there.
And it shall forever remain. So as a result of that monumental boner, we're just going to jump right into our game of the week because we are now 2 hours into the show time.
Yeah. And if we try and retread all the ground we've done, it's just not going to sound natural.
That happened to us once on the Manatang podcast. We got to the end. Actually, it happened twice. We lost an actual recorded show. It was like 3.5 hours, but then we also lost our final E3 episode that we did.
Oh, dear. It also happened to me and you. Can you remember? When we did a video and you forgot to record the video.
I did.
And we just had audio.
Oh, yeah, that was Sausage Goggles and something else.
Yes.
What?
We had a bit of trouble with the two-man show once, Eric, as well. Do you remember?
Well, yeah, but that was for a different website.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Shabba for the dick stroke!
That was on gayguys.com.
Is that URL taken?
Not this again.
What was
So
the
much for
URL I
getting
was
straight into
gonna
the
buy
game.
last week.
Rate my whatever it was.
Howlongtobeoff.com.
Yeah.
How am I not a millionaire yet? That's a brilliant idea. Oh, goodness. So, yeah, we're going to just jump right into our game of the week. We were talking about Smash and building our game room and Ni no Kuni and all this other stuff that hopefully you'll get to hear, but if not, sorry. And there's definitely no Factory Sealed Unwrapped this week.
Nope.
And there was a solid 10 minutes of Tom and I impersonating Snake in Smash, complaining about the different characters to the Colonel.
It'll come back, I'm sure, in a future episode.
I'm sure it will. So, guys, this week we decided to play the original Just Cause because last week, or no, 2 weeks ago, Just Cause 4 came out. Sounds like someone had Taco Bell.
Did you know that Taco Cat is Taco Cat backwards?
What the hell? Did you guys hear that?
Yes.
Hear what?
Alexa said, "I don't have a short description of Taco Bell."
No, I didn't hear that. I just was baffled by Mike's comment.
It is, though.
I didn't hear Mike's comment.
Taco cat is taco cat backwards.
But
Same
why
with
would you ever say taco cat?
what's it
I
called?
don't know.
Race car.
Yeah, race.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I love the 3 brains just ticking over for the last fight.
Thinking is hard.
I could see Dan looking up at that low ceiling, going, "Damn you! You're
Not
the
in that
reason
room
this
today.
takes so long."
Not in that room today, my friend.
Oh, you're in the shitter.
I did bang my head on the ceiling earlier, though.
I was playing VR.
No, I was actually pulling on because when I bought the VR, I just dumped it all on the floor and couldn't be asked feeding all the cables through my entertainment unit. So I said, "Today I'm finally going to do this." Did it. Stood up after I did it. Banged my head off the ceiling.
I'd hate to look down the back of my entertainment center. There are fucking wires everywhere.
That's why you got to get an AV rack. Like I haven't just wire that shit.
I do love a good rack.
Oh, yeah.
Did you just say nipples?
It's part of the rack, I guess.
Yeah, well, it is. Yeah, but it's just how you went nipples. Oh God! So much for getting into the game straight away.
Yeah, we gotta get into this here.
Yeah, we need to rein this in slightly.
Yeah. The original Just Cause came out 2006 for the PS2 and Xbox, and then did it simultaneously come out for the 360? I believe it did, because the 360 was out by then.
I had no idea that it was even a 360 game.
It was right at the beginning of the console life when they were taking like end of era PS2 Xbox games and just pushing them onto the 360 and PS3. Like, you've got more launch titles. Well, no, technically we just have shitty end of life PS2 games on this new console.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that the original Just Cause is shitty, because it's anything but. So people here will probably be familiar with Just Cause, at least Just Cause 3 and Just Cause 4 since it came out. And
Hang on, Eric.
What?
Before I launch into this, why are we playing this game?
Just Cause.
Had to be done.
You know what? I'll be glad to get past this show for that joke to end.
Oh, that's just... It's been non-stop.
The gift that keeps on giving.
We like to take
Speaking
those
of
jokes.
Did you find Mike's optician's joke because you were listening back to shows?
I didn't get a chance to listen to it, but I know what show it's on, so I'm going to dig it up and
which
sound
show is it
snip.
on?
I forgot.
Oh, I know it's on.
I have it saved on my phone. Like, I've paused it on that episode. I think it's the show right after. I think it's on the Metal Gear Solid 2 show, not the one with David Hayter, but the one after that.
I might give it a listen at work tomorrow.
Because the show, there was one show I was listening to where Dan makes a shitty joke and I call him out on it, and he's like, not nearly as bad as Mike's something optician joke from last show. So I've narrowed the window down. And I started listening to the episode, but I haven't gotten into it yet because it's a 3-hour show.
Okay.
Yeah, the first time I ever played anything to do with Just Cause was when they gave away Just Cause 2 on PS Plus.
Oh, man,
Did you
such
guys
a
ever
good
play that?
game. That game came
Was Just
out...
Cause 2 a PS3 game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that came out shortly after my wedding. And I got that as a wedding gift from Christy because she knew how much I wanted it.
I wonder if I have Just Cause 2 then. I wonder if I got it on PS Plus one time and just never
I think
played
I
it.
sold it.
So
Let's
anyway,
see.
we wanted to go back to the roots because the core of
excuse me. You wanted to go back to the roots.
Well, yeah, it makes sense because Just Cause 4 came out.
There is no we in this area. You wanted to play this piece of trash.
Bite your
Ooh.
tongue, mister.
He's showing his hand already.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, I do have Just Cause 2. I must have got it when it was given away free.
Just Cause, the series as a whole, at least at this point now, is known for its ability to not take itself seriously and just cause mountains of chaos. It's an
Yeah, but
open
why would
world-
you?
I see what you did there.
It's an open world game where essentially you kind of have to make your own fun. There is a storyline that Rico Rodriguez goes through these different countries that are in political turmoil and overthrows the despot and saves the country and gives them their freedom. And what?
The problem is, I can't. When you say the name Rico, I think of Dan going, "Hey, Nico, let's go shit to the urinal." Sorry.
How do you pronounce his name? Rico?
No, it is Rico. It is, but for some reason, every time you're saying Rico, now it's just reminding me of that, and I have no idea why.
You're right.
Hey, cousin, you want to go bowling? Hey, cousin, I know you're busy killing people, but you want to go bowling?
So the original Just Cause. Let's dig into this because I don't think it's nearly as bad as you guys say it is. Simply because this game was willing to take risks that other games weren't. In terms of open worldness and just sheer suspension of disbelief.
It was willing to take risks of putting itself out there and getting really low reviews.
It didn't get low reviews.
I know,
It averaged
it
like a
didn't.
72.
I didn't, but that's the risk they put.
Yeah.
It's the risk they took.
Yeah.
Well, people should know that the original Xbox version doesn't work on the 360.
Ah, good one.
Yeah, because that happened to me this week. I now have a useless copy of Just Cause on the shelf.
It's not useless, Tom. It goes to the collection. Anything that sits on the shelf is not useless.
Okay, do you think I should sell it?
No way, man.
Just keep it? Okay.
You know why?
Just Cause?
Just cause. Just cause.
Dan's just sitting
Mike,
there thinking,
I'll have you
games
know
are
that
meant to be played.
video game reviewing magazine Famitsu gave it a 31 out of 40. That is
What do they
not
know?
shit.
What do they know?
What do they give it? 31 out of 40?
Yes.
What a bizarre scale.
Yeah. What?
Famitsu's
what
always
console
out
was
of
that for,
40.
though? What console was that for, though?
PS2.
Let's see. The 360.
Because I think I definitely had a lesser experience than you guys by playing the PS2 version, and I've looked at some comparison videos, and I think it's had a skewed effect.
I would agree. I mean, obviously, of the three consoles, it was, well, four, including the PC, that it was released on, the PS2 was the lesser of the bunch.
Well, I looked at comparison video earlier of it against the Xbox version, and I know it chugs anyway because I've been playing it. But if you watch that comparison video I sent to you guys, you can see it just chugging, and everything's so fucking janky. And yeah, I definitely dipped out here, I think. But I'm just reading here actually. This is from Wikipedia. It just says IGN noted, looking at the reception of it, it said IGN noted the gameplay of the same console version lacked depth compared to PC, and that the side quests were boring and repetitive. Apparently, it's got like bug-related issues, and the PlayStation 2 version in particular suffers from a number of game-killing bugs that render certain missions impossible to complete, or the game unplayable until it's reset.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the aggregated review scores here, and you're right. IGN gave the PS2 version a 5.5 out of 10, but the 360 version an 8.8.
Yeah, that's quite a difference.
Which probably explains why I enjoyed it a whole hell of a lot more than you did, because it was just generally better to play.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to put this out there now. I didn't get very far in this game. One, because I've not had a lot of time these past 2 weeks. I've had a really busy couple of weeks at work. But the time I did spend playing it, and I'm not embarrassed to admit this, I actually found the game very difficult. Not because of the actual missions being difficult, but I was fighting against the jankiness, fighting against the controls, fighting against the slowdown. And I just did. I only got a few missions in, if I'm honest.
So what? I guess I'm curious as to what you're referring to with the jankiness of the controls, because yeah, the button mapping wasn't the best, but
it's difficult to explain. Just the entire, like, it wasn't necessarily the button mapping, but it just didn't seem to control right. That's the only way I can kind of describe it. And you just felt like you were fighting against everything. Like, you try and turn the character or turn the cars, and you'd either not turn very far or you'd turn far too much. And then trying to actually aim and everything like that, it just felt like the game was actually fighting against you. And as I said, could be just the PS2 version, could be old game is old, I'm not sure, but I definitely had to fight against this. And is it the second mission where you get in a plane and chase this guy who you end up taking the place of? And it took me, I think, 5 attempts to do that mission because like controlling the plane was just like absolute dog shit. Because I kept crashing the plane.
The flying mechanics were kind of garbage, but as a whole, I thought the controls were fine. This game has an extremely generous auto lock on. I mean, extremely generous. If the character is even remotely on the screen, they'll automatically lock onto it. You can free aim, and that's when shit turns real bad. But you're just running around. You can pick up guns off enemies and just blow shit up. I didn't struggle with more than maybe 2 or 3 missions. The missions where I struggled the most are the ones where you have to specifically drive a car from one location to another, because the AI in this game is terrible in that it's either really, really dumb or it's impossibly difficult, where they'll give you a stupidly slow vehicle that you have to drive, and then the enemy AI cars will just come and spin you out and box you up, and then just you get locked in there and you can't get out of it except for die and then just hope you get luckier next time.
Something I found quite interesting that I noticed is the police come after you very easily on it. It reminds me a little bit of the new Red Dead, where literally you walk into a guy too hard and like suddenly the police are after you. Did that happen to you a lot?
Yes. Well, yeah, because you're going into all of these territories that aren't politically stable. So the map is huge. Let's talk about that for a second in terms of when this game was released. The largest game to date at that time, I believe, map-wise, was
San Andreas?
San Andreas, very likely. This map dwarfs San Andreas. Now, that doesn't mean there's a lot going on. It's a very empty, barren world. But the fact that you could just drive a car all the way across this entire world, or jack a helicopter or an airplane and fly wherever you wanted to, it was huge. That's the one thing I remember about this game from when it first came out, was just how free this game was.
Did you notice how big of a difference the draw distance was compared to the PS2 and Xbox versions as well?
Yeah, the draw distance on the PS2 is trash.
Yeah, and they kind of used a little bit of the kind of Silent Hill fog to kind of mask some of it as well. Like, if you look at the image of the Xbox version and the PS2 version side by side, it's like the entire island's just covered in mist on the PS2 version.
Yeah, and even the regular Xbox version, things seemed more vibrant and colorful. The PS2 version seemed muddy and washed out. And then I played the 360 version on the One X, which the 360 version is a step up from the Xbox, so it was a lot more colorful. The one thing that is kind of obnoxious is the lens flare and the oversaturation of the bloom within the foliage. It gets to be a little much, and motion blur. God, they love their motion blur in this game. But the One X really took a lot of those textures and frame rates and smoothed a lot of things out. So I thought it looked fantastic. But again, I'm playing from a skewed perspective, I guess.
Mm-hmm. But in terms of the story, obviously I didn't get very far. My first impressions of it, it seemed a little bit generic. I mean, did it change much later on?
No, so I guess that's the crux of Just Cause, and what makes it so great is I don't know if they were trying to be serious with this first game, but then Just Cause 2 came along and they're like, all right, we understand that we don't take ourselves seriously, so they intentionally made a terrible story, but they did a good job at making it terrible. So it's kind of like they looked at it and went, that was really bad. Let's make it that bad again, but good.
Well, it seems like all the characters were very, very over the top. I mean, the guy who gives you all the missions at the beginning, I can't remember his name. Yeah, it's the guy who plays Sully in Uncharted, which I loved. Yeah. It's nice to hear his voice again. But all of them seemed really, really over the top. Like Rico himself is like, hey, yeah, I'm Rico, hey.
Well, what was the girl's name?
I don't remember.
I don't remember her name at the moment, but yeah, essentially you just pick up missions from Sheldon and this girl who seem to be on a hippie love trek around this island, and they're making you do all their dirty work to overthrow this president who is causing political turmoil within, what is it, San Expedito?
Yes, that's it.
And you just go from mission to mission doing something random, from taking the place of one of this president's bodyguards and killing him, or overthrowing this particular part of the country and kind of getting morale back on your side. It's really generic. There is literally nothing important about the story in this game because that's not the point of this game.
Mm-hmm.
The story
Eric,
just
interrupt
exists.
you. The PS2 version, because you said about the map being huge, because of the limitations of the PS2, it couldn't handle all of the land, so they cut a large portion of the island out.
Interesting, because I was reading a review where it said that they didn't notice anything very distinguishable between the between the three releases, other than frame rate, draw distance, and
just graphical fidelity, probably.
yes, that's what I'm looking for. Thank you.
But yeah, it was the case with a lot of these games that came out on both PS2 and Xbox. The Xbox was always slightly more superior in that kind of the technical aspect. So, especially if it's also on 360.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that, I guess I can see from your perspective now, Mike. I'm still going to try to find a PS2 copy of this, mainly because I'm kind of intrigued now. A, at how hard it is to find, and B, I just want to see how different it genuinely was. I may even just fire up my original 360 and drop this in just to see. I'd like to see the difference between the One X processing the 360 and then the regular 360.
Well, Eric, I'm not probably never going to play this again, so I'll bring my copy with me to America. You can just have it.
It won't work.
Oh, yeah, it's region locked, isn't it?
Yeah, you guys have PAL version.
Yeah, sorry.
But what's really interesting about this game is the fact that there are over 300 side missions, which I sent you guys a screenshot of my end of the game, and I felt like I did a ton of stuff. I did one side mission. 21 story missions, one side mission, 5 hours. And I felt like I did a ton of stuff. But apparently overthrowing the different towns doesn't count as a side mission. So you'll be driving along or flying along, and you'll see this green pillar, and you can drop down, and there's one of these revolutionaries that you can talk to, and he'll say, all right, let's go, and you're immediately running into this village to overthrow it. And it's kind of rinse and repeat, where you shoot some guards and you get up to this first barricade, and you have to allow your crew of ragtag revolutionaries to get into town and capture the flag within the town. So you hit a barricade, then you have to throw grenades, blow the barricade up, move to the second barricade, blow that up, move to the third one, blow that up, run to the town center, capture the flag. Now the city is yours, and the political climate shifts in your favor, and you can see that on the map. I don't know how many of those there are, but I did quite a number of them. They start to get kind of generic after a while, and I just didn't feel like doing all of them. But once you get done with that, then within that little village, sometimes it'll unlock a new safe house where you can go and save or restore your health or take on side quests from different people. And the side quests are anything from, this person's missing, go and find them, to, go intercept 15 crates of cocoa from this gang that's transporting it across the country.
Cocoa Pops.
Yeah. That I actually enjoyed that mission. So there was one where you had to hijack this truck that had 12 crates in the back of it. And it said, make it to your destination with at least 3 crates. I'm like, Jesus, that's going to be friggin' easy. So sure as shit, as soon as I start driving down the road, you have these different gang members chasing after you. But then, like you said before, the cops suddenly show up and they're ramming you. And I'm about 200 meters away from the destination, and they flip me into a ditch. I'm like, oh shit, 9 boxes come tumbling out. So I'm steering into this hill, like, just stay upright, and it flips back down under the wheels, and 2 more boxes pop out the other side, and I have 2 left. I'm like, Jesus Christ, just get there. But, some of the fun missions like that were... I didn't hate anything about this game. There were some that weren't fun.
I've just been looking at a couple of gameplay videos between the 360 and the PS2, and the difference is like night and day. In all honesty, the 360 version looks so much better.
I think you probably would have enjoyed this on 360, Mike.
Yeah, I imagine I would. I'm not purposely coming on here to shit on it, but I did have a negative experience of it, and I don't know, like because obviously it was trying, in many ways it's trying to be Grand Theft Auto, isn't it? And I haven't really properly, at the risk of having like a mob of angry people at the door with flaming torches, I haven't really dabbled in a Grand Theft Auto game properly since 3. Ooh. And yeah, I've had a quick go with San Andreas.
Didn't you play Vice City with us?
Vice City, man. Vice City.
No, that was before I was here on the show.
Oh, wow.
That one feels like I've been here forever, doesn't it? But no, I haven't really dabbled in a Grand Theft Auto properly since 3, and so I'm comparing this a lot to 3 with it being around the same time anyway, and I think that comparison in terms of how Grand Theft Auto 3, how I remember it running, it could be like dog shit now, I don't know, how I remember it running was a hell of a lot better than this.
Oh yeah, 3 ran great.
Yeah, it was still pretty good, actually.
But I think, looking back on it, the map from 3 is minuscule. At the time, it felt colossal, but it is tiny. Just take a helicopter in Just Cause and fly all the way up and look at the scope of this map. Even in probably the butchered PS2 version where they cut out a chunk of the map, it's still huge. So just in scope of what they were attempting, I think they threw a couple mechanics in that were super cool that have obviously kind of become mainstays of the franchise. Rico has this infinite parachute where he can just deploy it at any time. You can deploy it 3 feet from the ground and he'll be totally fine. You can hijack anything. You can grapple hook to cars or parasail behind boats, skyjack helicopters and go into stunt mode. And that's the crux of Just Cause, and what makes it so much fun is it's just silly. The physics aren't ever meant to make sense. I mean, look at Just Cause 4, for example. I sent you guys pictures of me strapping rockets to cows and launching them into space.
Yeah. Well, I did say to you, because obviously we were given Just Cause 3 free on PS Plus a few months back, and I did say to you before we recorded the show I was going to fire that up and see where the series has gone to, but I just haven't had a chance, unfortunately. I've had a real busy couple of weeks.
Dude, I think you're going to like Just Cause 3. 4 is just more of 3. And 3 is fantastic because they introduced the wingsuit, and you still have the grapple hook from the first one, but it's far more effective. You can actually use the grapple hook to navigate around the map. Mm-hmm. I was kind of disappointed going back and realizing, like, okay, this game is really hard to traverse around because sometimes you'll accept a mission and then you're 1,000 meters from the nearest road where you have to hijack a car and you have to walk there.
Oh man, and cars do not like hills in this game at all.
No, not unless you have a ton of speed.
Yeah, if you go off road and any of the land has any kind of incline whatsoever, you are going to struggle to get up it.
Yeah, it's not friendly.
The nice thing, because you said to me when I started going through the missions, you were like, the quickest way to do it for the show is after each mission is do the extraction to get you back to your mission bases.
Yes.
I thought that was like Jesus. Yeah, that is huge. Sorry for the listeners, I sent the GTA 3 map and Eric's just sent us the map for Just Cause, and yeah, the difference is monumental, isn't it?
Yeah.
That was much quicker because I found getting anywhere in Just Cause it just took so long. It was such a headache.
And I think part of that is because the map is so big and they did space things out. However, now that I got to the end of it, it seemed like 90% of the game took place in the top right corner of the map. I don't know that I ever actually went and did anything productive in the bottom left corner.
So looking at the map, which is the island we start on?
I believe in the very top right, not the little small one, but like the big one that has the little lagoon inlet.
The one that looks like a guy dabbing?
Sure? No. The one to the left of that. The bigger one.
Oh, the big one.
Yeah.
I'm glad you recognize what I was on about. Well, it does.
It does, yes. Actually, no, it is the one. Now that I look at it, it is the one where it looks like the guy is dabbing. Because you get the second mission, you go across the bridge onto the smaller island up there.
Yeah. Down past the guy flossing.
Yes.
No, that was not real. I'm joking.
Oh, wait, here we go. Check this out. This is a large video game world comparison map. I'm going to send this, and there's a lot on here. Let's see if Just Cause is on here.
So I've been trying to find the PS2 map, because now you've sent us that. I've been trying to find the PS2 map to see how much smaller it is. Let me see if I can find it. On the PS2 map.
Yeah, I can't find it either.
Hang on, I found... Is this it? Hang on. Copy image. It's from in-game, so it's not going to be as detailed as what you've just sent. But does this look different to you? Hang on.
Nope.
No, that looks the same to
I
me.
don't think they chopped anything. Maybe they chopped some stuff within the world.
Yeah, possibly. Maybe the islands are smaller, perhaps? I'm not sure. I'll keep looking, see if I can find anything.
Yeah.
But what I did love about this game when I first started it up is that you are thrown straight in. Like, the very beginning of the game is literally you parachuting out of an airplane straight into a gunfight.
That first mission is great.
Yeah, straight into a gunfight, then like you take down a load of guys, and then suddenly you're on the back of a truck with a like an on-rail shooter section. Yeah, it was great introduction to the game, really was.
It's too bad that that's kind of the height of the action until the very final mission, which that's the only mission that really took me a lot of time. You have to fly a helicopter to this base, land it, and then try to kill these two people before they hop in tanks and drive away, but you can't, so then you have to hop in a tank and chase them while you're being chased by other people in tanks and helicopters and machine gun people, and your tank eventually explodes, so then you have to hijack all these gang cars to go and drive these tanks off the road, and then from there you have to go to another military base where you have to kill somebody there and then get up on top of a mountain. It took probably 15-20 tries for me to get through to that. But
what's the difficulty curve like? Does it get a lot? Does it spike quite high near the end, or is it pretty consistent?
It's pretty easy all throughout. You do run out of ammo, and you just got to kill somebody and pick up more. And
aren't your standard handguns unlimited ammo though?
Yeah, but I like using machine guns.
Yeah. The few missions that I played, it was...
The grenades you run out of quite frequently. But I did like how you can target the grenade after you throw it.
Oh, yeah, that was good fun. I like that.
The physics in this game, I know I mentioned this, the physics in this game are friggin' ridiculous. So if somebody's riding towards you on a motorcycle and you shoot them just with a handgun, it's like you hit them with a howitzer. They will pop off that motorcycle 30 feet into the air, cartwheel backwards. It's all super goofy. And that's
Sorry, go on, finish up.
No, I was going to say, for me, that's what I love the most about the Just Cause series, is it's just silly fun.
Just Cause.
Sorry. So what do the stunts do anything for you? So I noticed, like, whenever you get in a car, you could press, I think it was X, and you could go into stunt position.
No. Well, yes and no.
What is that for? And obviously you can do it from the planes and things like that and jump off. And
so,
also, if you were going so fast over a hill and the car managed to go into the air, it kind of went into like a slow motion kind of stunt view.
Just for dramatic effect.
Just shits and giggles.
But the stunt mode is actually rather important. You can stunt mode onto the top of a car, turn around and shoot people that are shooting you, because you can't shoot while you're driving, and then hop back into your car and take off. Or stunt mode next to another car and then press a button to jump to that other car and commandeer it and take off.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So it kind of Pursuit Force from the PSP did that.
Oh, what a game.
That game was a
What
treat.
a game. If you guys haven't played Pursuit Force or its sequel on PSP, you're in for a treat.
Yeah.
That still holds up well.
That's a system that'll be kind of hard for us to play games for.
What, PSP?
Yeah.
Really?
How come?
Well, Dan doesn't have one.
Oh, but you can emulate.
Well, not after today's debacle. If you haven't noticed, Dan fell out because his potato crashed again.
Because that's how Dan played Crisis Core.
What, he emulated it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
emulated it.
because
Yeah.
he couldn't not play that fantastic.
Yeah. I can emulate PSP on my Vita, so wouldn't be an issue for me.
No.
I mean, I would legitimately buy it and play it on an actual PSP console.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I remember Dan was saying, he's not here, that he was saying that a lot of the missions, as long as you can just find a helicopter, you could cheese them.
See, and I didn't understand what he was talking about because I didn't have any success skyjacking a helicopter. Every time I would shoot my grappling hook at the helicopter, it would just pull me up and parasail, and I never got the option to jump to the helicopter.
Interesting.
So I'll have to chat with him about that and see. Maybe I just was getting unlucky every time I grappled it. But anytime you grapple a car, it will automatically parasail you up behind that car and keep your grappling hook on there, and then you have the option to jump to the car. But I never got that option for the helicopter.
See, I couldn't. Again, I said I was struggling with this game. Like I felt like I was fighting against it constantly. But maybe I did an Eric Peterson and didn't quite get the controls. But when I attached onto a car and was parasailing behind it, because I remember when you first get it, it tells you that you can press, I think X and circle will reel the grappling hook in or out. And I was under the impression that once you were connected, you can reel it in and get closer and closer to the car. And I couldn't. And I tried jumping to the car and I'd miss. So I don't know what I was doing wrong.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I will admit that possibly playing this game, you know how sometimes we play games for the show, and because of the nature of how we play them, we need to try and get through them quickly. I think this is one of those games that doesn't relate well to just trying to fly through it. So that it could be a victim of that as well. Because, like you said, a lot of it is making your own fun, whereas we're playing it to try and get through the missions. So because I'm not going off and I'm not spending that time just going
Goofing around.
Yeah, not goofing around.
So
That might be a victim of that.
Here's the thing. To your point, yes. In comparison to 2, 3, and 4, this game's terrible. But it laid some very important foundation for, or even groundation, if you will,
I was going to
for the
say
mechanics of what came. Like, you seriously need to just fire up Just Cause 3. The opening mission is sort of long, but once you have full access to the world, dude, it's insane. It is some of the most fun, time-consuming free play I've ever had. One of my buddies came down 2 years in a row, and all we did in January for a week straight when he was here was just dick around in Just Cause 3.
Now imagine if it had multiplayer.
That's the thing I don't understand why. I get it. I remember when they announced Just Cause 2 and they were doing those developer diaries, like Anatomy of a Stunt. And they were showing all this super cool stuff and then talking about the physics behind the cars when they handle in the desert versus in the jungle and then on the rocks. And like, this game's going to be fantastic. I hope to God that I can jump in and play. Because it was right around the time when GTA 4 came out where you could play online with people and just screw around in the city. I'm like, this would be fantastic. Play with friends in Just Cause 2. They went, well, no, technically we weren't able to figure that out yet. But then they did somebody did a PC mod with it where you could drop 250 people into the same map, and it was chaos. So when Just Cause 3 was announced, they're like, yep, still no multiplayer. It was like, okay, guys, what the fuck? Let's do this. And then Just Cause 4 came out, and they're still like, still haven't figured it out.
Surely they must have seen the successes of GTA Online.
Yeah.
Like that thing is a fucking cash cow.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, most games these days are like focusing arguably slightly heavier on the multiplayer component. So I'm surprised that, because Just Cause lends itself so well, as you said, to just being able to goof around, dick around with friends.
I don't
really
care if there were
surprised.
missions or anything, as long as like, hey, just drop in here. Like, even if you could just do co-op these missions with me, or just screw around. That's all we want to do. Let's just screw around. Let's strap each other to cars and drag each other around. That's all I want to do.
Yeah.
But I think, Mike, if you jump into Just Cause 3 and see where this series has ended up, you'll have maybe a different appreciation for this. Like, okay, I see where these mechanics started, and the storyline is still garbage. Rico is awesome at this point, though. They definitely have changed who he is. He's like this really rugged, manly Spaniard Nathan Drake, who just his whole job is to just blow shit up and look cool doing it.
Okay, I say the way he runs in this reminds me of Gabe in Siphon Filter, except less square.
Oh, he looks like Elvis.
He does.
In the PS2 version, anyway.
I don't know. I couldn't. I played the PS2 version. I couldn't recommend this, if I'm honest. Of all the games that we play regularly on a that are old style and a retro, and that I could go in and at least have a dabble, I wouldn't recommend this at all. But I've not played the other versions. I mean,
I don't think I would recommend it either. I would think if you haven't played a single Just Cause, don't start here. Start with 2. 2 is just as great. The beauty of that one was that it finally gave you free reign over your grappling hook, free reign over airplanes, strapping people to things with the grappling hook. I can't even begin to tell you how many times I've strapped civilians to those gas canisters and fired them up into the sky and just laughed my ass off doing it. Just things like that where there was no other game at the time that was doing that. And I think Just Cause just cornered the market on open world stupidity.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of other games, but
so I have, thanks to PS Plus, I've just checked. I checked a moment ago. I do have Just Cause 2, and obviously I have Just Cause 3. If I want to just go in and have a quick dabble to see what it's like, would you say go straight to 3 or try 2 first?
You said you do have 3?
Yeah, I have 2 and 3.
3 is way better because you have the wingsuit. So 2, you just have your parachute, obviously, but 3 gives you the ability to travel even further using your wingsuit. So you can go up and you can skydive, and you can actually use your wingsuit to like grapple along. That's one of the main skills. Like, Tom, you know what I'm talking about in terms of pulling yourself along the ground with your grappling hook. So you point at the ground, grapple, and then he'll pull himself towards it and then let go, but you have to kind of like swoop down and then pull up so you can continually go. And then you can do that again with your wingsuit. So you can traverse the entire map with your wingsuit by grappling the ground and pulling yourself along.
It is cool if you really get the knack. You can traverse really quickly across the map. Just if you can nail switching quickly from parachute to wingsuit, and grappling the ground to pull yourself along, or then you can eventually try and grab hold of vehicles, whether that's like a helicopter or car. You can get it's actually quite satisfying when you nail that control scheme.
What's really cool is if you're in a helicopter and another helicopter comes up to fight you, you can go into stunt mode where he'll dangle from the bottom of it like Spider-Man, and then you can shoot or you can point your grappling hook at the other helicopter and go hijack that one and throw him out, and now you have yourself a new helicopter.
Yeah.
It's just complete and utter chaos. And in Just Cause 4, Tom, I showed you a little bit of this, but they've taken your grappling hook and given you power-ups for it. So in Just Cause 3, they gave you rocket boosters that you could upgrade and attach to things, but they had a finite amount of time that you could fire them. So you could put like up to, I think, 5 boosters on the back of a car or on a cow or on a person and fire them, and they go launching off into the distance, or you could use it to increase the speed of your car or whatever. In 4, they've given you 3 upgrades to your grappling hook. One's called a retractor, the other is still your rocket boosters, and then they've given you balloons, just like in Metal Gear Solid 5 and Peace Walker, where you can launch people out. But then you can upgrade each of those to have a low, medium, or high activation, and then you can further adjust it to be automatic, tap, or hold. So you have 3 different loadouts for your grappling hook at any time that you can fully customize. So if you want, you can have one loadout with strong retractor, meaning that as soon as you fire it and connect it to somebody else, they'll pull themselves in extremely quick, or you can do it extremely slow, automatically, or you can tap it to reel things in. And then you can even go more granular than that and say, okay, what happens when the retraction is done. Do they fire away from each other with an electric shock, or do they explode, or does nothing happen? You can really build out exactly what you want to do. Like the balloons, you can fill them with explosive hydrogen gas, so when they're full and they reach a certain height, they explode and blow everything up around them. Or the rocket boosters, you can have them do nothing when they're done. You can have them explode. You can have them fire again. There's just so much fun stuff that you can do, and it's all about just making your own fun. And that's why, Saturday mornings I'll just wake up and play this game for 2 hours and get nothing done.
Yeah, there is something to be said for that kind of sandbox, of just kind of jumping in and just, okay, what are the tools that I have, and what's going on in this world that I can just dick around with. And because they've just gone overboard on the physics, like you say, it's like you could just do so much. You're like, oh, I wonder what happens if I attach this thing to this animal.
Or I'm going to steal this person's car, grapple them to the bumper, and then drive across the country.
Yeah. Did Just Cause 2 have the grappling hook?
Yes, that was one where you could then grapple people to things and pull things down on people.
Okay, but it didn't have the wingsuit, if I remember.
No. Nope.
Yeah.
And it didn't have the boosters or anything like that. What you'll probably find about Just Cause 3 that's a little repetitive is that the entire point of that game, again, is to overthrow this dictator. But in order to do so, you have to reduce the level of propaganda within each of the provinces. And to do that, everything that is listed as government property will be clearly red or have like a government star on it. So you have to go into each of these cities and you have to find propaganda vans, propaganda billboards, propaganda loudspeakers, or a base. And you just blow everything up. And it's really easy to cheese. You can just go to a military base, grab a helicopter that fires rockets, and just strafe the entire village and just blow everything up and be done with it and move on. But there's dozens and dozens and dozens of these villages. So it does get a little old and repetitive, but there's different things that you can do within, different stunts. It's kind of neat to compete against your friends in different achievements, like what's the longest skydive you did, or how far did you wingsuit or pull yourself along the ground, or how fast did you go off this jump, and just certain things like that make it a ton of fun.
Mm-hmm. To be fair, though, what open world game doesn't have repetitive things that get a bit boring?
Yeah, and I think Just Cause does a great job of saying, okay, here's all your boring stuff, but here's all the fun stuff. And in 4, they've actually gotten away from that. They give you more actual, genuine side quests. One guy to upgrade your one of your retractors has you go on like these little mini Tomb Raider hunts, like Nathan Drake or Lara Croft, and like you're actually doing missions where you're going down into tombs and solving puzzles. And another lady who's this action movie star director will just randomly pop up a mission like, hey, I need a guy to fly a helicopter through this bridge at this speed. And then when you do that, she'll give you certain points to upgrade your rocket boosters. And then they've given you an AR sight, so you can click in L3 at any time. And he's got this like robotic eye now where it shows him all of his waypoints. And you can see these hidden stunts around the world, like wingsuit stunts, where you have to go through all these rings in a certain amount of time, or take a specific car off this jump at this speed, or blow this thing up in this amount of time. So there's just a multitude of things to do. If you pop into essentially Just Cause 2 through 4, you'll never be short of things to do for hours on end.
Get some.
I think this is one of the franchises that if I had to choose 2 or 3 franchises that I could only play the rest of my life, Just Cause would be one of them.
Oh, wow.
They're just that much fun because it's just that cathartic experience of like, I don't really want to do anything, but I want to play a game where I just fuck around and just blow stuff up. And yesterday morning, the girls and I were sitting on the couch and just launching cars for 45 minutes. It's all we were doing. We're grappling cows to cars and launching them into space. All we did. And had a friggin' blast doing it.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised that maybe, I guess maybe on PC they do this with GTA 5 because they have all access to all the mods and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because I remember doing GTA is the only game I can think of where I would actually load it up and realize that 30 minutes in, I haven't even started a mission. I've just been seeing how many cars I can pile into one section of the road, and then and then I'd set the middle one on fire, so that would blow up, and then it would cause a chain reaction. And I
think this takes that to the next level.
Exactly.
Plus, it's neat to be able to pop into a jet, fly all the way up, and be like, "Holy shit! I have this entire game map at my disposal." And 2 is a little barren, but 3, there's shit to do everywhere.
Well, what's the difference between the maps in 3 and 4? Are they wildly different, or is it kind of similar sort of stuff? And is it still set in... Is it because Just Cause 3 is kind of set like South America, right?
No, Just Cause 3 is like Italy. It's Medici.
Oh, okay.
So 4 is in South America.
Oh, okay. That's right. Okay. Nice.
I don't know. So it's 400 square miles for Just Cause 3, and 4 is 395. So about the same size.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think I read somewhere that Just Cause 1 was like 250,000 acres.
God, that is big for a game of that age.
No. But there's some neat Easter eggs in Just Cause 3, like Cloud's Buster Sword stuck into the side of the mountain.
Huh.
That's a nice little touch.
Yeah, it is.
Let's see. Just Cause. Yeah. So, I don't know. I could sit, honestly, and talk about Just Cause all day. I freaking love this series. It's just super fun. So, I get it that, the first one's a little rough around the edges, but,
You do seem to have a genuine love for the series.
Oh, man. It's so much fun.
It's nice to hear, like, listening to you talk about how much you love it. Like, it's nice.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those that, you just have a special place in your heart for, because it's just, it's the game that I wanted as a kid.
Oh, little Eric would love this.
Little Eric would love this. So when I play it with my kids around, I'm like, all right, I'm not going to shoot anyone. And, when the cops show up, I'm like, all right, let's run away. Let's go find a cow or a llama to attach to a rock face.
So if your kids are watching, it's just stunts only.
I guess your enjoyment is limited to how stupid you're willing to be.
Yeah,
Lord knows I'm willing to be real dumb. But yeah,
fair.
Highly recommend Just Cause, the series. Start with 3. Might even just load it up for an hour and just see what you think.
Mm-hmm. I might do tonight. I mean, I'm planning on doing some gaming tonight, but I haven't decided what to play yet. I've restarted The Last of Us because Hazel wants to see it before the second one comes out, so might do a bit of that with her, but we'll see.
That's one game I won't play again. I made a pact to myself to say I will never play it again because I just want to remember the experience as it was.
That's fair. I couldn't imagine playing through it again, even though I kind of want to.
No. Real quick, I finally caved in and bought The Messenger.
Yes!
That game is so fucking good.
The writing is really good. The gameplay, at least for now, is kind of generic, but...
just keep playing it. Just honestly, like Tom keeps saying, it's so fucking tight, the controls and everything. It just feels great to play.
Yeah.
It really does. All those Ninja Gaiden clones over the years, they ain't got nothing on this.
I like the comment at the beginning about being able to climb to the wall. And he's like, yeah, Tom Gaiden invented this 20 years ago. Just had to get that out of the way.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So, any other games we want to chat about before we kind of wrap up here? We got to do a short show since we lost an hour and a half.
Yeah. No, I'm good. Obviously, we did get a lot of Smash talk in. Hopefully, you can recover that.
Yeah, let's hope.
Which will not if you did recover it, that's going to not make a lot of sense.
Yeah. Did we post anything for questions this week or not?
We did. Yeah. There's I did have it up. Yep, I've got it. And then there's one more as well on one I did earlier. There's not many. So Santos Lopez, not regarding Just Cause, but says, will the Sonic movie be better than Mega Man Fully Charged, which Eric never speaks of?
Can we talk about that for a minute? Because that Sonic movie is going to be an absolute dumpster fire.
I never saw the trailer.
There's
There isn't
no
one yet.
trailer.
Oh, there
It's
isn't.
just
Okay.
this.
A
Just
silhouette
posters?
poster where he looks like some mutanoid furry marathon runner with bad androgynous RPG hair.
Oh dear.
It's real bad.
And
Then they decided to make it worse by showing the movie poster where he's sitting on top of the Golden Gate Bridge and you can see his blue trail of where he ran. Makes no sense. Like, apparently Sonic can now just run in the sky.
Is he sitting? I thought he was like mid-jump.
It looked like he was sitting.
Why can't people just be okay with this is a game and this is a movie? Very rarely do they work when they cross over.
Blood Rain was fantastic. What are you
Oh,
talking about?
you get a few. I'm not saying there aren't exceptions.
Resident Evil series is great because we just got like 5 movies of Mila Jovovich. Nothing wrong with that.
I'm trying to think of. Apparently, actually, I'll give it this one. Apparently, the Castlevania TV series is incredible.
Yeah, but Sonic is not a live action character. There's no way that
I
would
know.
translate well.
Oh yeah, no, of course.
Like, even Mega Man wouldn't translate well. And I like me some Mega Man.
What's
I
this
didn't-
Mega Man Fully Charged that Santos brought up?
It's a shitty cartoon.
Oh.
I intentionally haven't brought it up. It's real bad. It has 52 episodes. Only 26 of them have aired so far.
Jesus Christ.
Averaging a 3.8 out of 10 on IMDb.
Oh,
It's real bad. I watched one episode. I'm like, well, I won't watch any more of this. So, yeah.
nope.
I'm actually excited for the Sonic movie because I can't wait to see how bad it's going to be. I hope it's not terrible, but it's going to be terrible. I even liked the writer's response. Did you see that tweet that he put out?
Was it like everybody just relax? I think he said.
Everybody's like, how about no?
You have to be responsible for your actions.
Hold on, I want to pull that up. There was one of the first responses to it was hilarious. I can't remember what it was.
Wasn't it like, how about no zone or something?
Yeah, they
You
took
know,
the
how-
Green Hill Zone, the how about no zone. Yeah, here it is. So, I don't know. It'll be terrible.
Let me see.
There you go, Mike. Any other
Oh, yeah.
tidbits before we want to move on to...
Yeah, well, we've still got questions. So,
Oh, go ahead.
Zach Foley. So, if not discussed at length already, how did everyone feel about the Video Game Awards? I know there's folks upset that Red Dead didn't sweep it, but having played and still playing that quote-unquote sim, I'd say I'm pretty happy with the outcome, even a win for Celeste. I was stoked that Celeste won an award.
I was stoked that it was even nominated for Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Next
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Red Dead, Spider-Man, and God of War, that's a huge achievement for them.
Do you know what? I think any other year, I think it would have won. Well, maybe not last year, but maybe 2016. I think it could have won.
What was last year?
Breath of the Wild.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But fucking Spider-Man got the Horizon treatment, didn't it? Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
No.
So last year Horizon got nothing, and this year Spider-Man got nothing, and God of War getting Game of the Year though over Red Dead. I'm thankful for that. I mean, I traded in Red Dead a few weeks after I bought it. I didn't like it. I'll have more to say on that on our Game of the Year show, but I didn't get on with it. So I'm glad God of War won.
It was nice
Also-
to see that The Messenger got best debut indie game.
Yes.
Well, that was cool.
I was
Florence
talking-
got best mobile game as well.
Yes.
I was well chuffed with that.
Which
Did
is
you play
great.
that one, Mike?
Yeah. Everyone,
Florence is great.
if you have
Yeah.
a spare few dollars and like a spare 45 minutes, just go and play Florence.
Yeah.
It's a really neat game.
So good.
In one sitting as well.
Yeah, so good.
Did you guys actually watch the entirety of the awards?
No.
It was basically just one giant Red Dead circle jerk.
Oh, really?
Oh, everything was Red Dead. Literally everything.
I know that
And-
they won like narrative, audio
Best
design,
music?
music. What else was it? Something else that they won, or maybe it was just 3. Can't remember. Oh, best performance as well.
Yeah, the dude who played
Arthur.
plays Arthur. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know I didn't play enough of Red Dead to say whether he was great later on. I mean, he was great on what I saw.
Mm-hmm.
I'll save more of my thoughts about it for the Game of the Year show, but I'm kind of along the same lines with you, where it's a neat technical achievement and it's cool to play, but there's so many better actual games.
I have a feeling it's going to be on Dan's top 10 list. I don't think it's going to be high, so I think we'll get a chance to talk about it. But I think maybe Game of the Year this year we should talk about like games we didn't like as well. Anyway,
yeah,
not in a list, but just.
I was super pumped that God of War took it.
Yeah, good for them.
Super pumped.
I hate to start that.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Sorry, Tom, go on.
I think Mike disappeared.
Oh, hello.
I thought I lost you both. I wasn't sure what happened.
Oh, okay. I was about to move on to the next question, but then it sounded like you were going to say something.
Go ahead.
Okay. Chad Hager, or Hager. Is it Hager or Hager? I think I say it differently every time.
Hager.
Hager?
It's a soft G. Hager.
I'm sure this question has been asked, but why not again? What is the best Christmas gift you ever received? It doesn't have to be game related.
Oh, wow.
Most of my Christmas gifts were always spoiled by my brothers and sisters. They'd always tell me what I had, so nothing was ever a surprise to me.
I thought about this and I had an answer for it, and best Christmas gift I've ever received.
I think probably my PS2.
I think my
PS2.
PS2.
Even though I knew I'd got it.
Definitely my PS2, actually. It was insane.
And the fact they got me Just Bring It with it as well.
Yeah, me too. Just Bring It, Crazy Taxi, and James Bond.
I mean, I still have to go with the Christmas where I got the N64 and the PS1 on the same day. Felt like the coolest kid in 5th grade.
I also,
And,
for some
sorry,
reason,
Tom.
I don't know why, but I was just really into, when I was a kid, I was really into snooker. And I remember coming downstairs and my dad had set up a huge snooker table with all the balls in the right places. And I just thought that was...
table?
Snooker. I don't think you have it.
Snooker.
It's like pool. Like a pool table.
But bigger and like...
But bigger and more coloured.
Surely you must have snooker in America. Let me see if you call it something else.
Billiards.
Certainly have it in Sheffield.
What's snooker called in America? Let's have a look.
Well, while you're looking for that, we have to announce...
Well, I've got one more question.
Oh.
As well on another thing. Sorry. Dancy Gilbert, what game release are you most hype about in the coming year? Or do you want to save that for the Game of the Year show?
Let's save that for the Game of the Year show.
Okay. And then not a question, but Scott Girardi has said there is an email.
Yeah, and I'm not going to read it.
Oh, okay.
He wants us to finish a game from a past show that I refused to finish.
Which game?
It's a gift trip.
No, we never started that. And I refused to start that.
What was it?
I'm not telling you.
All right. Jesus.
I'll send it in the chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, please. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh,
no.
okay.
Yeah. Tom's response says it all.
But yeah, that's the end of the questions.
So we have to announce our Straddling winner. We pushed it a show and finally got some more entries in it. Let me tell you
I
what.
was a bit concerned this wasn't going to come to fruition this year.
Yeah, oof, no kidding.
Pe-
But Chad
people
broke the
really-
seal on it. Chad always comes through with a solid straddle, and to his own admission, he did peak early in the very first year with his cozy coupe straddle.
No, it was his
It wasn't the cozy
arcade
coupe,
cabinet.
it was the arcade cabinet. Sorry, yeah. So he, in his game room on top of his original gateway tower, and then his son saw him doing it and decided to post his own.
I love Chad's face.
He has got the deadpan expression down. That's a key element to the straddle, is how stupid can you look doing it.
I like his son's got the form perfect.
Yeah, he does. That hand up. He's got the dumb look going on too.
He's got a future in straddling.
Yeah, that kid is going places. But Dancy Gilbert, oh boy. Oh boy.
That's great.
Yes.
A man after my own heart.
So he's straddling a barbecue, or you just call it an outside grill, I guess, don't you, in America?
A grill, yeah.
Yeah, grill, yeah. Straddling one of those. It's snowy all around him, but he's wearing shorts, flip-flops, an American stars and bars hat, and holding an American flag. And is that a pie he's got?
It looks like an apple pie. It's American as apple pie. Baseball and apple pie.
I love it.
And
he's even got red and white suspenders.
Yeah, everything is America about this man right here. He looks super proud of himself.
His armpit hair is sticking out. It's a
little
good
bit,
time.
A little bit. I mean, that's a solid straddle right
it's
there.
It's good framing as well. I like the framing.
It is. Yeah, a little bit of skew.
Yeah.
You got the whole flag in there.
It's a good one. I like it.
He looks like he's looking down his nose at the communists next door.
Mark Marcheschi, straddling what looks to be above a waterfall. So
or he pissed his pants.
Or he pissed his pants. So that looks like it's falling down behind.
That looks dangerous.
Yeah,
looks
top
so
marks
dangerous.
for danger.
He looks awfully
Possibly
happy,
not the most
though.
dangerous one. Yeah. That's a man who's happy to straddle.
Kayla Rose. This takes...
Love this.
I like this one an awful lot. So she's sitting on what looks to be a child's scooter in her living room, which is also a mess of children's toys. Wearing a PSVR.
Lit up as well. It's
Nice.
on.
Lit
It's
up.
lit up.
Yeah. Brilliant.
I like that.
Move controller high in the air.
I can't tell what color the move controller is because it's washed out in the back.
But Sean McIntosh, who is her partner, he said that apparently she'd just beaten a Beat Saber song on hard and wanted to celebrate.
No, there's
That
no
girl
better
knows
way.
how to celebrate. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Bring me
Yeah, I
my
like this
straddling scooter. Chris Gould broke the seal on what Dan has dubbed the sexy straddle.
I love his face.
It's so good.
He is real proud of himself. I like that he took like the top 4 buttons down. I mean, that shirt is almost off.
And he has got some major chest wig going on.
There
I'm proud of
is
that.
a chest carpet there.
Now, I will drop him down marks because his hand isn't in the air.
Yeah, and maybe his
are the
left
feet off
foot
the
is on the
ground?
ground. I can't tell. But I think the exposure of ample bosom negates that loss.
Yeah, and the fact that it's an animal-based object, that always is a winner for me.
Oh, animal-based objects always get higher points. Always. Corbin Elvey and his buddy straddling what looks to be a dead tree.
Yeah, did they
Near a
take the tree
cliff.
down themselves?
I was wondering, is that person in the back part of their group or like just some random hikers? Like, who are these
I'm trying to
morons?
zoom in and it won't let me.
It's the first thing I saw. I think this
It looks like they're taking a photo themselves, to be honest.
I just can't figure it out.
But I do like the double man straddle.
Yes.
I want to know
Sanford,
if they both get up, does the tree like twang back up?
Yeah, probably.
That's
they
what
have
I
to
wanna
both
know.
get up at the same time so it doesn't. Jeremy Sanford decided to give OSHA the middle finger. I can only assume this is a gigantic forklift. He's got his sweet beard wig on.
Oh, so the snood.
The snood. And his pinky's up. Did you guys catch that?
Yes. Sure
Oh
do.
yeah,
His pinky is way up there.
extra points.
So he looks to be in some sort of warehouse, and he's up high, very high.
Who is the one that... God, there was one last year where they were in like a
Yes.
factory where they pick up garbage and put it on a conveyor belt, and he was straddling the crane or something like that.
It was really dangerous looking.
He was welding at the same time, wasn't
Yeah!
he? I can't remember who that was.
I like that one. I wish we had more to give away. Rhett Nielsen, his son, has decided to throw in.
Yeah, get the kids involved.
Hell yeah.
It's good.
He's got the star straddle going on. Both legs out, both arms up, and he's on an animal.
Yeah.
Strong.
And the lion looks pissed.
Yeah, he's like, Jesus, not again.
But I've just realised, because I thought he was on like the lion's back, but I've just realised the lion is kind of laid down, so he's actually just on the lion's head.
That's the best place to be.
Which is more uncomfortable, so more points.
And then Rhett himself decided to really pull out all the stops here.
Oh, yeah.
Mike, I'll let you explain this one.
So he's kind of sat on some stairs, but in between his legs, like clasped in between his legs like a vice, is a sealed copy, and he sent us another photo of the copy, a sealed copy of Kingdom Hearts 2. It's just, he's got the blank expression down, both hands are in the air. He looks like he's really struggling to balance because he looks like he's right on the edge of the step.
Yeah.
Well, and I can appreciate, like, he's trying to be careful with that because that's a valuable piece of gaming history right there.
Well, the thing is as well, you could, if it wasn't for the fact that Kingdom Hearts was between his legs, you could argue that this is a sit, but
He is straddling it.
yeah,
I would not ask him to try to bear his own weight on top of that. So I'll give him a pass on that.
Might break the seal.
I mean, that's effort right there. I didn't think anybody else had a sealed copy of Kingdom Hearts 2 because they're that rare.
So, are we doing what we do normally, kind of putting our votes in the hat and then deliberating? I did ask Dan for his vote, so...
Yes.
So Dan's vote is for Rhett Nielsen's Kingdom Hearts 2 straddle.
I'm torn between two.
My vote is with Dancy Gilbert.
I would go there too.
I'm torn between Dancy Gilbert and Rhett. The reason that I like Rhett so much is like it's completely topical to the show.
Well, you've got kind of the winning vote then, because
in case people don't know, Kingdom Hearts 2 sealed is kind of a long-running joke. It is a game that I've had sealed since the day it came out, for no other reason than I just never got around to opening it. And now it's just this thing that Dan wants to fly to America and open, and I have since hidden. And I will be replacing
already.
it. I will be replacing it with an opened copy on my shelf. So the downspot, like if we're talking strictly from like rules of the straddling contest, I mean, I like Dancy Gilbert's. It hits every stride for me. I mean, I am all about America. And I think what really puts it over the top is the apple pie in the crotch.
and the fact that it's like clearly winter and snowing and he's dressed like that.
And that I'm imagining him just screaming at communists. Hey, get off my lawn, damn American.
I know he's a big fan of like the Toe Jam and Earl soundtrack. I like the idea that he's got just that playing in the background while he's holding.
Oh, and he says, by the way, it was 12 degrees out when I took it.
Jesus.
Is that Fahrenheit he's probably doing, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I need some context for this.
Cold. Real cold.
Fahrenheit to Celsius. Yeah, I can imagine.
Minus 11.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
Yeah. I think I got to give it to Dancy Gilbert. Because he hits all of the major points.
The living meme himself.
He's got something between his legs.
Yeah.
Both feet are off the ground. A hand is in the air, and not only is that hand in the air, it is holding the stars and bars.
Yeah.
And he definitely doesn't look like he's having fun.
No. He fits.
He looks
criteria.
pissed off. Damn Reds are in town again.
The living meme himself.
Congratulations, Dancy Gilbert. You have won yourself one of the amazingly mediocre PlayStation classics.
The thing that we spent several minutes shitting all over on the last episode, but
And that I returned. But hey, it's free.
yeah, you can
It's
sell
free.
it on if you want.
Yeah, I will
We
contact
devised the
you.
contest before we knew how bad it'd be.
Yeah. I mean, we were hoping it'd be good.
Yeah.
So I will get that sent out to you, God, probably after Christmas.
Yeah.
Real quick, I will try to have the show published before then, but on the 20th, anyone who's participating in our Factory Sealed Secret Santa, that is when I'm going to put up the post for opening. You can post your pictures or videos or whatever of you opening and expressing thanks. And I'm actually looking forward to this. Some people have been sending me messages about what they're sending their person, and it's super cool. I think this is going to turn out really well.
Speaking of things on the group, for you, those of you that haven't seen the straddling pictures, we'll leave them on there for a bit longer for you to go and see them. Because obviously we've described them on here, but if you want to see them in the flesh.
So the next few weeks look like this. The 20th, we'll put up that post for everybody to open their gifts. We're not doing a show next week. The 30th, we are doing our annual Game of the Year show, so we are not playing a game, but instead we will be talking about all of our favorite games from the year. Forewarning, probably not going to be a ton of retro games, but we feel like since this is a gaming podcast, we're going to talk about what we played this year, and we all come up with our top 10 list.
And a bit of a fair warning on that, I will put up the post as usual, but we normally put up the questions and comments post for the game, and it's usually, it's supposed to be directed towards the game, but what I'm going to do at some point this week is I'll put that up, and we're going to ask for your favourite factory sealed memories of this year, because I think if we ask everyone for the game of the year and everything, it's going to get too convoluted. So start having to think about your favourite moments from factory sealed this year.
That's kind of why I've been listening through some of the old shows from this year, and Jesus, there's some funny moments. And then after the new year, the 13th, we're tackling Ace Combat 4 for the PS2 because Ace Combat 7 comes out that week. And then the 26th, the 24th is when you guys all come in town. And then we've got some plans for that.
Yes.
Mike, you have them written down. I don't remember.
I don't have them written down, but I know roughly what we're doing. I just need a calendar in front of me for the dates. So our plan for the moment is, Eric, you're going to have to help me with the times when we do them, but like changing them for the rest of America. But so we will be on the 26th of January, which is on the Saturday. We're planning. We will get the correct plans more concrete, but we are planning on the 26th of January around 6 p.m. What time? Is that Pacific time?
Mountain time right now.
All right, so 6 p.m. Mountain Time. So, Eric, that would be what East Coast, what Pacific Time? Do you want to?
So 6 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Pacific, and 8 p.m. Eastern.
We are planning on doing a live stream on the Facebook community of us doing a load of gaming. We're going to come up with some silly challenges for us all, and you guys can watch and comment. And, I think Eric's got a plan to potentially do some way that you guys can like bet on people, and then we may put a prize up, but we're still ironing out the details on that.
The overview of the contest is that it's going to be a team-based thing with us broken into teams of 2, and we're coming up with the most asinine, ridiculous contests that we can think of. Some of them may be kind of serious, like a Smash contest or something, but some of them are going to be really dumb. We posted a few out on the Facebook page now, but like pair up as a team, and who can get through the opening sewer of Oblivion the fastest, but the person playing with the controller is blindfolded and has to be guided by their partner. Or who can do the fastest lap in Gran Turismo in reverse using an actual PS2 steering wheel and looking over their shoulder. Stupid things like that. So if you have any suggestions...
we don't know how long it's going to be. I mean, it's going to be starting 6 o'clock. Mountain time. We could go on for hours. We don't know yet, so we're going to take it. We'll probably be drinking whilst we're doing it as well. So
so it'll be just one of those casual things.
And then moving on.
But before that, Mike, before that, at about 4 p.m., we're going to be hitting one of the local.
Say again. I lost you again, Eric. Sorry.
Oh, at 4 p.m. that day, we're going to be hitting one of the local drinking establishments or breweries for a local meetup. There are quite a few people here who are local. So we'll send out some information on that, or if you just happen to find yourself in the vicinity of town around that time, we're all going to be out and about and welcome you to come out and have some drinks and dinner with us and hang out.
Yeah. Yep. And then moving on from there, on Tuesday, the 29th of January, we'll be recording an actual live show. So it'll be our normal podcast, but it'll be like when we're in London, do an actual live one of those, and we'll be streaming that on the Facebook community as well.
Have we agreed on what game we're doing for that, and should we announce it?
Do you want to do what you suggested?
I think we should.
Yeah.
I mean, people have been requesting it for quite some time.
The one thing to bear in mind, though, is like we did with the live show last time, we planned on doing Mario 64, but we got that distracted with all of the things that we were doing that we ended up putting Mario 64 for the next show. So just be warned that may happen again, depending how carried away we get.
Maybe we won't announce it then, so we don't get people's hopes up.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's maybe a good idea.
We'll see.
Keep it under the proverbial hat.
Well, I'll keep it under my actual hat. Like, I'll just write it on a piece of paper and put it under a hat.
Yeah, but what we are doing, we are now trying to plan our games further in advance. We've actually got like our next, I think we've planned through to March or April, the games we're going to play, and if we completely lock them in, we will start announcing earlier the games we're going to do. Obviously, everything is always subject to change of us because we're idiots.
Well, which hopefully gives us the chance to completely finish them, try to get like a game or two ahead so that we're not finishing the game of the week the night before.
Yeah.
And I think if we have time to digest it a little bit more, it's more of a conversation piece.
Exactly. And then at some point we'll be doing a big like we normally do, like a Final Fantasy every year. We do a big RPG. We are going to pencil one in for this year. We don't know what we're doing with that yet. We've got a choice of a couple of games. We might not do a Final Fantasy this year. We may put it off for 1 year. But more on that later.
Yeah.
I think the one that we're planning on doing, I think a lot of people will be very happy about.
Yeah, and we'll span probably 4 shows.
Yeah.
It'll need
just for us to get our head around the story. There's a little hint for you.
But yeah, guys.
I can't believe we're going to Arizona soon.
Oh, I am excited. I am just in a state of chaos getting my house ready for you guys.
Whoop, whoop.
So,
Oh, shit.
gotta finish that sex dungeon.